Welcome, my friends. We are back with another fantabulous episode of Lightningrod Collectibles Live, purveyors of fine pop culture ephemera. Lightningrod Collectibles, now simulcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, bringing you the best and the coolest from the diamond, modern, copper, bronze, silver, and even the golden age of comics. You are watching episode number 453, our 6th annual extravaganza. Welcome, my friends, one and all. Well, it is good to be back on the air. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're going to have a good, excellent new year and have a great time on this show. Welcome, 2022. 2021 was a bitch and a half. But, hey, we're still here, we survived, and we're moving forward. And we're going to keep pop culture alive through this show. Glad to see you could all make it. Everybody, please give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to turn on my Facebook page so I can monitor you guys. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. How are you, Robert? Let me just turn off the closed captioning because I don't need it. All right, we are going to jump right in. Just to tell you what's happening, let me pull up my notes. Here is the list of everything that's scheduled. Coming in on the feed right now. All right, just to let you know, here's what we got going on. We have, in terms of our format, we have auctions. Some books are going to be straight up auctions. We have some books where you will make an offer to Lightningrod. You remember how that goes. I give you an opportunity to make me an offer on certain items. If I feel it's too low, Lightningrod will offer a counter offer. And then you and I will begin to haggle. And we will haggle until we get to a price that satisfies us both and allows us to seal the deal. So there's make Lightningrod an offer, and we have the auctions, and we're going to have buy it now, where there'll be a set price on some items, take it or leave it. And you may find that some of those items are quite the bargain. And speaking of bargains, we're going to have a special type of claim known as today's Lightningrod Special Value. These are buy it now listings, but they are offered at a substantially discounted value. Let me just put that in to the feed right now so that you guys can see. And our shipping rates. And finally, just to say, have fun and enjoy the show. All right, here we go. You always give us great deals, Michael. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And now, Robert, you said you saw some things you might be interested in. If you want to see any of those items first, let me know. Just type it in. In the meantime, we're going to put $3 up for now. All right. Let me know if the picture is all right. The picture looks best when I do it through StreamYard, where I am going live with. Okay. The book on the left we're going to start off with. That is a Diamond Age Marvel Comics claim. The book on the far left is a claim item, which is a buy it now. It is The Trials of Ultraman. Number 1, The Trials of Ultraman #1. It looks fuzzy on my end too, just a little bit. Alright, The Trials of Ultraman #1. Great cover. The story is by Kyle Higgins. This, of course, is based on the Japanese live-action children's adventure television show Ultraman. The story is by Kyle Higgins and Matt Broom. The art inside is by Francesco Manna, Gurihiru, and Eduardo Ferragato. The cover is by the great Arthur Adams. The grade range on this May 2021 book, The Trials of Ultraman #1, is 9.8 near mint to 9.9 mint condition. But buy it now is $10. But buy it now on The Trials of Ultraman 1 is $10. Oh, it had to reboot. Okay, is the picture better? Hope the picture is better. Oh, let me tell you about this book in the middle. We're going to have a few, in the next few weeks, a few George Perez books going through this show. The middle book is a Copper Age DC Comics auction item. The middle book is an auction item, Copper Age DC. It is Crisis on Infinite Earths #1. The story is by Marv Wolfman, the art by George Perez and Dick Giordano. The cover is by George Perez. This is a key issue. This book changed the face of the DC universe as we know it, or at least as we knew it back in 1985. It was a groundbreaking series. This is the first DC Comics appearance of Ted Kord as the Blue Beetle. The Blue Beetle was one of the characters that DC Comics bought from Charlton Comics when Charlton went out of business. They bought several characters such as Blue Beetle, the Peacemaker, Captain Atom, the Question, and writer Alan Moore and artist Dave Gibbons decided to take those characters from Charlton and rework them, and they became the characters that you know of from the 12-issue maxi series from DC called The Watchmen. Blue Beetle became Night Owl in the Watchmen series. And what a spectacular masterpiece, talking about changing the face of the DC Comics publishing as we know it. The Watchmen was definitely responsible for that. This issue also features first appearances of Alex Luthor Jr. and Pariah. There's Pariah on the cover now in the green, black, and white in the cape at the bottom right half corner of the cover. And this issue also features the death of the crime syndicate, the evil versions of the Justice League, Ultraman, Power Ring, Owlman, Johnny Quick, and Superwoman. And the destruction of Earth 3, first of many counter-Earths, alternate universe Earths that got destroyed in the course of this series. There are appearances in this issue by the Harbinger, the Monitor, Dawn Star from the Legion of Superheroes, Firebrand, the Psycho Pirate, Arion, Lord of Atlantis, Firestorm, the Firestorm villain Killer Frost, Geoforce from the Outsiders. Hey, how are you, Rob? Rob Friedrich has joined us. I'm about to cover that in just a moment, so sit tight. Let me finish talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I will get to the Amazing Spider-Man. Also, Obsidian from Infinity Inc., Infinity Incorporated. The Superman of Earth 2, Cyborg from the Teen Titans, now from the Justice League, but back then he was with the Teen Titans. Dr. Polaris, Simon, and John Stewart as Green Lantern. This issue of Crisis on Infinite Earths came out in April of 1985. The grade range is 9.4 near mint to 9.6 near mint plus condition. The opening bid on Crisis #1 is $16. $16 is the opening bid on Crisis on Infinite Earths. Excuse me. Let me just put that on the StreamYard screen. Here we go. All right, let's talk about Spider-Man now. Where's everybody? You still with me? Okay, the book on the far right is our first of two today's Lightningrod special value books. It is a Bronze Age Marvel Comics item. It is The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, number 94. The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, number 94. Let's put that in the field. All right. This book, story, is by Stan Lee. The art inside is by John Romita Sr. with inks by Sal Buscema. The cover is by John Romita Sr. This book is the 9th appearance of the Beetle in Marvel Comics continuity. This issue came out in March of 1971. The grade range of this issue is a fairly high grade, 8.0, very fine, to 8.5, very fine plus condition. Now, this book is at a $125 value at that grade range. You can have it today at today's Lightningrod special value of $100. $100, and this book is yours. Rob Friedrich, you still with us? The one comic on the preview was a virgin cover of Miss Marvel. No, that wasn't Miss Marvel. I know what that was. That was Wonder Girl, #1. It's a silver foil cover. Let me ask you, Robert, was that this one? Is that the one? That's Wonder Girl. Is that the one you're interested in? This is it. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, I can do this one next. I'll include this one in the next batch. All right. I'm going to start swapping books out, book at a time. I'm going to send some quick notifications out just before I do that. Okay, we're going to start swapping out books momentarily. We'll replace the Trials of Ultraman for the next book. All right, I sent out my notifications. Thanks for your patience. All right, last call on the Trials of Ultraman #1 with an awesome Arthur Adams cover. Always loved his stuff. Okay, we're going to swap that out for one of the books that Robert has requested. Please remember, anything that has not sold, be it by claim or by auction or by making Lightningrod an offer, if it hasn't sold, it's still available. All right. Let me wet my whistle. Reyes is with us. Hey, Reyes. How you doing, dude? Happy New Year, man. Good to see you. This book with this nice, shiny cover. It's nice and shiny. I like shiny stuff. Let me pull it up in my notes. There it is. This book is a Diamond Age DC Comics auction item. It is an auction item. Putting it in the feed right now. Amber, how are you? Hope you're doing well, girl. How are you? Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, Reyes. This book on the far left that I just introduced is Wonder Girl, Volume 3, Issue number 1. Wonder Girl, Volume 3, Issue number 1D, as in David. This is a variant issue. The story and the art are by Joelle Jones. The cover is by Raphael Grandpa. Wow, that's a hell of a name, a hell of a last name to walk around with, Grandpa. This is a silver foil cardstock Virgin variant cover. For anybody watching that does not know this, a Virgin variant cover, it is a cover that does not have any text of any kind on the cover. No publishing identifiers, no DC bullet, no logo, no credits, no covered blurbs, nothing. Just the art, where the cover is meant to showcase the art, and that's it. The title of the book, usually not in the form of the standard logo, but just text saying what the title of the book is, and issue number, and publishing information, is all on the back cover. So this is a Virgin variant cardstock. It's printed in silver foil, which makes it very collectible. This issue features appearances by Catwoman. I see I missed the last N in Catwoman. It says Catwoman. Please excuse me. Wonder Woman appears. Oracle, alias Barbara Gordon, appears. Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, Nightwing, and the second Wonder Girl, Cassandra Sandsmark. She appears in this book as well. This is the third Wonder Girl on the cover, and this is the star of the book. The first Wonder Girl is Donna Troy, who was one of the founding members of the original Teen Titans. And then she later abandoned the Wonder Girl title and just called herself Donna Troy. This issue was published in July of 2021. The grade range is 9.8, near mint to 9.9, mint condition. The opening bid is $21. Opening bid on Wonder Girl number 1D, $21. And Carl Van Landingham has jumped in and he has purchased The Amazing Spider-Man number 94. Welcome. Happy New Year to you, Carl. And Amazing Spider-Man 94 is sold at $100. Awesome. We're going to do two things. We're going to put that Post-it on. You know this is how Lightningrod Collectibles Live operates. And we're going to put a Post-it note to show everybody who made a purchase. And you're getting a nice copy, too. I hope your New Year's Eve was a great celebration, Carl. Hold on, I need to rewrite that. I don't want to put too floppy of a Post-it. Some of you may have been here long enough to remember it, but many of you may not. But in shows past, Carl, of course, you can see in the feed, his last name is Van Landingham. Van Landingham, 4 syllables, and it's got how many letters? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 letters in his name. And I tried to write his name several times on the Post-its, and I'd run out of space on the Post-it note, which is actually kind of funny. So now I just put Carl V. I know he's Carl V. He knows he's Carl V. And all of you know who Carl V is now. It is a great pickup. I agree, Robert. Awesome issue. You too. I hope you guys stay happy, healthy, COVID-free. Keep reading them comics and keep being a faithful supporter and patron of Lightningrod Collectibles Live. I appreciate you very, very much. All right, I'm going to do the second thing that I said I was going to do, which is we got to give Carl his props. Let me type it up real quick. All right, here come the props. The balloons are flying for Carl Van Landingham for having just won The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, number 94, for $100. That's an awesome win, Carl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to move Crisis over to the right. And I hope somebody will pick up Crisis and some other books of George Perez's, because some of you may be aware of this at this time, but less than a month ago, George Perez, he posted on Facebook and Instagram that he is sadly, very sadly, terminally ill. He has, I'm not forgetting which form it is, but he has a form of cancer, and it is inoperable. And he has opted not to do any kind of chemotherapy or radiation treatments, which gives him less than a year left with us. He has retired from drawing comics, and he is at the point where he has had to cancel his scheduled convention appearances and even had to work out with his agent an arrangement to return monies to fans that had paid for convention sketches that he promised them, as he is too sick to draw at this point. It is really, really heartbreaking. I grew up admiring George Perez's artwork. I think he hit his peak with Crisis on Infinite Earth and stayed at that peak level for a long period of time. And he is one of the people that has influenced me a great deal. I know I can say the same for many of you watching and listening as well. So sorry to hear that. I hope if you don't have any of the books of his that I offer on the show, I hope that you will be quick about snapping them up. By the way, please let me know if your picture is all right, because I think Facebook is trying to do something funky, with the quality of the picture. When I look at the same picture in StreamYard, it looks fine. Anyway, let's talk about the book on the middle that I just added. It is a Bronze Age Marvel Comics auction. It is an auction item. Oh, and before I jump into that, Robert, were you interested in Wonder Girl? Let me know. So the middle book is an auction item. It is a Bronze Age. Picture is good? Excellent. That's all that matters. My picture can be crappy as long as your picture is great. Well, my picture is good enough I can see what I'm doing, because I like to monitor what I'm doing. That way I know it's going smoothly. All right, Bronze Age Marvel Comics auction item in the center. Hero for hire. Even though the cover says Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, I am inclined to call it by that title, Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. And I'm inclined to put it under L alphabetically for Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. But in the indicia of the book, it's just Hero for Hire. Still thinking on it. Well, let me know, Robert. Because I know you've been paying for your package for several weeks. You're coming close to the end. And I know that whatever you pick up today, I'll just add to that. And I'll just extend your payments just a wee bit longer. But you're going to have a nice package by the time we're done and I ship everything out. Hero for Hire, number 3. I don't say volume 1 because the books after it are called Heroes, plural, for Hire. And those had two, that title had 2 volumes. So that's separate, even though it dealt with a lot of the same characters. This is Hero for Hire number 3. The story is by Archie Goodwin. The art by George Tuska with inks by Billy Graham. And the cover is by Billy Graham. No, not the evangelist. The artist Billy Graham is no longer with us, but I thought he was a very prolific artist for Marvel. And I wish there was more work out there from him than there actually is. This issue features the first appearance and the death of the villain known as Gideon Mace. And he actually has a mace for a left hand. This book came out in October of 1972. The grade range is mid-grade, 5.5, fine minus to 6.0, fine condition. The opening bid on Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 3, is $10. $10 is the opening bid. So the next book we will swap out is Crisis. Amazing Spider-Man 55? Okay. That is a Diamond Age book. That was way towards the back, so I will move that up to the front. That will be the book that I swapped out Crisis for. So that's coming right up. Just as a recap of what we have right now in front of us, we have Wonder Girl Volume 3, number 1D on the left, Diamond Age DC Comics. It is on auction with a grade range of 9.8 to 9.9. $21 is the opening bid. And I believe the value of that book currently is at $26. So that's the book on the left. The book in the center, Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 3, is also an auction item. It is got an opening bid of $10 from October 72. It is a mid-grade book, 5.5, fine minus to 6.0, fine condition. And then the book on the right is Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 1. Definitely a key issue. It is a high grade. It is 9.4, near mint, to 9.6, near mint plus condition. It is also an auction item, opening bid $16. Just wished it was the Virgin variant cover. It is the Virgin variant cover, Robin. I told you that. Oh, you're talking about Spider-Man. Was my mistake. For a split second, I thought you was talking about Wonder Woman. Yes, you know I'll try. You know I will definitely try. All right, we're about to swap out Crisis. Okay, please remember, Any book that has not sold is still available. All you have to do is ask me to bring something that was previously on the screen back to the screen, and I am more than happy to do so. Here we go. All right, let me find this one in my notes. Let's see, where are you? We've got a set of The Walking Dead coming up, the final issue set of The Walking Dead, the last 3 issues, and that's coming up later. Or on popular demand if somebody wants to see it sooner. This is this is our second Lightningrod special value for today. You know, they're coming up on the show almost like the Daily Double in Jeopardy. Okay, hold on one second. Where are you? All right, I found it and pulling it up from my notes now. Today's Lightningrod special value, the book on the far right. It is a Diamond Age Marvel Comics item. It is The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 6, issue number 55. Now, you should know this particular copy is not a variant. This is the A cover on this book. And it's grown pretty quickly in popularity, that cover. Excuse me. All right, here it is. The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 6, number 55. The story is by Nick Spencer. The art and cover are by Patrick Gleason. It has quickly become an iconic cover. There are appearances inside by Kindred, the Green Goblin, Spider-Gwen, and the Kingpin. From February of 2021. The grade ranges 9.0, very fine near mint, to 9.2 near mint minus. Robert Kennedy has put in the buy it now, so this book is sold. $25. This book is sold to Robert Kennedy. Congratulations. Unless you tell me differently, I'm adding this to your pile that you are paying on, that you will soon be completed. This is just another $25 edition. Let's put the Post-it note on. All right. Excellent job, Robert. Excellent. Let's give you your props. All right, the balloons are flying for Robert Kennedy on his latest win. The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6, number 55 for $25. And I'll tell you, this book would go for a higher grade and a higher price if it did not have this little bit of color flaking right here, just off the edge of the spine. I don't know if you can see that. See right by my finger there? See the finger that's moving? Yep, that's the only thing. Oh, this is interesting. You notice something? The inside of the key in Spider-Man is cut off by that web where it really shouldn't be. Now that's something that happened on the production end of this book. The printer has nothing to do with that. But it just strikes me as interesting. Well done. And thank you. Thank you so much. And you know I appreciate you, Robert. All right, so now let's throw in the next book. Let me make sure I got it correct in my notes what the next book is. Okay. Here comes the next book. You still thinking about Wonder Girl, Roberts? In the meantime, this is another key issue. This is a modern age DC Comics claim. This is a claim book. I buy it now. It is Batman, Volume 1, number 497B. Number 497B. Why is this a key issue? Well, obviously, this is the issue where the villainous Bane breaks Batman's back. This is the issue where that happens. It sets off a chain of events where Dick Grayson abandons his Nightwing persona to become Batman. It also launches the appearance of Azrael, a new villain a new hero at that time, to take the inspiration of Batman and create a new Batman, an armored Batman, just to face the menace of Bane and villains like him. Gotcha, Robert, not a problem. I'll swap that one out next. Ooh, okay, I'll bring that out next. All right. This book, The Batman, and it's got that paper, almost half cover wrap around it, which is kind of cool. The Breaking of the Batman. Number 497B. The story is by Doug Moench. The art by Jim Aparo and Dick Giordano. The variant cover is by Kelly Jones. This is a direct edition. There are appearances in this issue by Bane, Black Mask, Metalhead. I'm not familiar with Metalhead. The Riddler, the Joker, Two-Face, the Scarecrow, the Mad Hatter, Mr. Zaz, Firefly, and Poison Ivy. Some of you may not be familiar with Mr. Zaz. Mr. Zaz walks around bare-chested. He doesn't wear a shirt, and there's good reason for that. Every person he kills, he marks himself. He marks his flesh with a knife. He puts little ticks in his skin. You know, you ever see those? You know, we've all done it. You know, where we're counting something and we make these little ticks where we draw 4 lines going down next to each other, and then we do a diagonal line through those 4 ticks. That's what he's doing on his skin for every kill he makes. So he's one of the more twisted of the Batman Rogues Gallery members. This book was published in July of 1993. The grade range is 9.2 near mint minus to 9.4 near mint condition. But buy it now. The claim on Batman number 497B is $15. Buy it now, $15. So we've had a decent show so far. We've only been on for a little over an hour, and we've already sold both of our today's Lightningrod special value items that we had earmarked for this episode. What will I think of next? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're going to do a slab next. We're swapping out Wonder Girl number 1D. Please be advised. Whoops. So sorry about that. It's still good. This is an awesome book. I'm going to take it out of the bag, actually. First, I'll show you the back of it. What a cool book this is. This is a J. Scott Campbell exclusive because he did the cover on the other side. And it says, this exclusive J. Scott Campbell and Peter Steigerwald variant cover edition is presented by jscottcampbell.com. So the back cover of this book doubles as the COA. This is the certificate of authenticity right here. This issue has graded, certified, and encapsulated by CBCS is Batman number 50. Let's put this in the feed. This book is a Make Lightningrod an Offer item. This is a Make Lightningrod an Offer item. There, it's in the feed. Let's go over it. Can we pull back a little bit? And make sure I'm getting that. A little too high. There you go, that's a little better. Make Lightningrod an Offer. This is a Diamond Age DC Comics CBCS certified slab. Signature Series certified slab. It's got the yellow label signifying it's a Signature Series book. It is Batman, Volume 3, Number 50, JSC B. JSC stands for J. Scott Campbell. The B stands for this is the first variant cover for this issue. It is a virgin variant, as I explained earlier. Virgin variant covers have no identifying info on the publisher or the title whatsoever. No cover logo, no DC bullet, no pricing information, no credits, nothing. That's all in the back, which also, in this case, doubles as the COA from jscottcampbell.com. This is a virgin variant, CBCS certified, Signature Series, 9.8, near mint condition, graded copy of Batman Volume 3, Number 50, as signed by J. Scott Campbell. See if you can see the signature. There it is. The printed one is the small one in the bottom right-hand corner. The live one is the one going across the whole bottom of the book, as signed by J. Scott Campbell. Of course, it is certified. This was done in front of a CBCS agent. And the large actual signature looks exactly like the printed signature. And this is part of a puzzle. There are I believe, 3 other covers that join together on the right. This is the far left cover. It joins up with the other 3 covers, which means this would be the far left side of the completed illustration. Robert says 125 on the slab. 125 on the slab. All right, before I answer that, before I respond to that, let me finish telling you everything else about this issue. The story is by Tom King. By the way, issue number 50 of volume 3 of Batman features the wedding of Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle, who we all know as Catwoman. Did it actually happen? Since this book has already come out, I'm going to give it away. This is a spoiler alert. The wedding does not happen. Selina Kyle was a no-show at the altar. And she rationalized it by saying, because she knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, she rationalized that he would be more effective as Batman if he was unencumbered by the bonds of matrimony. Which is, the whole thing's very, very interesting. The story is by Tom King. The art is by several great professionals. And I'm going to rattle them off to you real quick. Mikel Janin, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Becky Cloonan, Jason Fabok, Lee Bermejo, Neil Adams, Tony S. Daniel, and I mention this because if there's anybody who's fans with any of these artists and writers that I'm mentioning, any of these artists, if you're fans of them and you collect them, then you're going to want this book. Lee Bermejo, I said, Neil Adams, Tony S. Daniel, Amanda Connor, Raphael Albuquerque, Andy Kubert, Tim Sale, Paul Pope, Mitch Gerards, Clay Mann, Ty Templeton, Joelle Jones, David Finch, Jim Lee with inks by Scott Williams, Greg Capullo, Lee Weeks, and Frank Miller. Now this, as I said, features a connecting Virgin variant cover by J. Scott Campbell. And I just told you this was a key issue, the wedding, or almost wedding, of Bruce and Selina. This copy is limited to as one of 2,800 copies, but they're not individually numbered. But there were only 2,800 copies made of this issue in terms of its cover. It is signed, as I just showed you, by J. Scott Campbell. The appearances are by Catwoman and various other characters in the Batman family and Batman Rogues Gallery. This came out September of 2018. The grade is CBCS certified 9.8, near mint. And Robert says he's placing an offer on the table of $125. All right, I'm going to begin the haggling. I am going to say $150. Robert, would you like to make me a counter offer? The initial offer is on the table for $125 from Robert Kennedy. The Lightningrod counter offer is $150. Next move is Robert's. What would you like to do? Robert says 140. That's a very interesting answer. Luckily, I don't need to think about that answer very long. Sold. That is awesome sauce. I like it. That's fantastic. That's a great deal. That is a great deal. Rodney, cooling is correct. It is a great deal. How are you, buddy? Happy New Year to you. Oh, and by the way, who do we have on that cover? We've got from left to right that woman, Black Canary, La Huntress, and Tim Drake as Robin. Odd. No problem. You still got a lot of time. We haven't had a lot of books up yet. We've only covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. We've only covered 6 books, not counting. Well, we've covered 8 books. So you're not all that late. And of that 8 books, we sold 3, so counting this one. So we did very well. So far, we're doing very well. And so is Robert. Oh yeah, I got the asking price for that one. We got that sold for $100. Yeah, Carl Van Landingham came in and scooped that up. All right, I'm going to give Robert his props. Okay, the balloons are flying once again for Robert Kennedy. A great win in this book. Robert just won Batman Volume 3, number 50, JSCB, Virgin Variant, CBCS, Signature Series 9.8, near mint condition, signed by J. Scott Campbell for $140. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Congratulations, Robert. You did very, very well. All right, we are going to put in the next book in next spot, and then the next book after that we will swap out will be Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. Let's see. Check my notes to see which book this is going to be. This next book is going to be Make Lightningrod an Offer. All right, it's going to be this one. This one. Oh, one of my favorite X-Men books. This is a Make Lightningrod an Offer item. It is a Diamond Age Marvel Comics item. It is hardcover and factory sealed. It is. Even though it is a reprint. It is a let's call it remastered. Because it's got bonus material that has never been in print before. And new material that's added to it that's never been in print. X-Men. God Loves, Man Kills. An awesome Uncanny X-Men graphic novel. It is an original graphic novel in hardcover. It is the extended cut. The X-Men God Loves, Man Kills extended cut original graphic novel hardcover. The story is by Chris Claremont. The art is by Brent Eric Anderson and Marcos Martin. The cover is by Brent Eric Anderson. It is a factory sealed gallery edition. It's reprinting the critically acclaimed Marvel graphic novel from Marvel Graphic Novel issue number 5, printed and published in January of 1982. There is an appearance by Magneto and features the first appearance of Reverend William Stryker. This gallery edition, this extended cut, was published in December of 2020. The grade range is 9.9 near mint to 10.0 gem mint condition. And I say that because it is still factory sealed. Make Lightningrod an Offer. Yes, my friends, make Lightningrod an offer. Coming up next, we will swap out Luke Cage Hero for Hire number 3 and put in its place yet another Spider-Man comic coming up. And it's going to be a claim item. Can you believe we've been on the air 6 years? 6 years yesterday. Yesterday was our official anniversary. I never thought that we'd be on the air this long. And I am grateful. And I've had a lot of fun. And I've had some very loyal customers over the years. And I've tried my best to treat each and every last one of them right. And if you ask them, I think they will tell you that I have treated them fairly and I've given them great deals and that they've enjoyed the shows and they've had a lot of fun watching and participating. That trend is definitely going to continue. If you know anyone that you think will enjoy this show, please spread the word. Okay, we're going to swap out Luke Cage. Please let me know, as I say to you, as I say all the time, if there is any book that has not sold. If you'd like me to bring such a book back to the front of the camera, please do not hesitate to let me know. And now the next book. Another great issue. And I thought of this because, in case you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, what a great movie that was. And Dr. Octopus, based on his last appearance in Spider-Man 2, which was the second in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, is prominent in Spider-Man No Way Home. So I had to throw in a Doc Ock book. So this is a Marvel Comics claim item from the Bronze Age. This is a buy it now. This is a claim. Thank you so much, Rodney. I just read that. Carl is saying, I'm leaving for about 30 minutes. Cell phone dying. All right, hurry back, Carl. Find the charger and come on back. Oh, I've missed a few things, a few comments. Robert said, that's great, Michael. Robert is probably commenting on my 6-year anniversary, if I was to educatedly guess. I know comic book stores around my area are kind of rare nowadays. Really, wow. You know, it's funny. It's a shout out to a good friend of mine, Mike Wellman, who is the owner and proprietor. He used to be the co-owner and proprietor of the Comic Bug, which was a comic store that I still frequent, although I haven't been there lately, in Manhattan Beach, California. And some of you may be familiar with the Comic Bug from watching me do my walkthrough shows, where I would shoot a show on a Saturday morning, going through all of the Comic Bug's inventory and trying to sell what I could, at a little bit more of a premium, over and above their prices. That didn't work out as well as I had hoped. I had gotten the idea of doing that from seeing some other people on Facebook Live do the same thing with their shows. But the only difference is I am not an owner of the Comic Bug. I don't even work at the Comic Bug. Whereas all those other shows that did the same thing, those were people that either worked at the show or worked at the store rather that they shot out of, or managed the store that they shot out of, or was an owner of the store that they shot their show out of. So they can offer discounts on books that I couldn't. So that and the combination of my conflicting work schedule meant that I couldn't really continue doing shows from the comic book. But I mention that because Mike Wellman was part of the show. I mean, he was part of the comic book for many years. Then he went off on his own. 2 years ago, he opened up a store in Long Beach, California, called Atomic Basement Comics. And I tried to sell some of his books to help him out because he was a much smaller store than the comic bug. And he was hit hard by the pandemic. That didn't work as well as I had hoped either. Didn't make as many sales as I wanted to make, but um, I tried my best. Sold some things to him, but not enough to make as much of a difference as I wanted it to. Anyway, I brought all of that up to say that the Atomic Basement comic store is closing for good next Saturday. And I I feel bad. I feel very, very bad because um, I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it. I think the rearrangement of the comic book distribution structure that was caused by the pandemic also had a lot to do with it. And Mike is up against the wall for the moment. I hope he's able to pay off everybody he owes him, that he owes rather. Um, it's pretty much too little, too late to save the store. The store is a goner, and next Saturday I may go in for one last ditch to pick up some things um, that he has just to help him out. But other than that, that's the end of Atomic Basement Comics. I'm sorry to see it go. I'm sorry to see any comic book store fold, but this one in particular was not good news. Online sales are king now. Yeah, I'm afraid you're right on that, Rodney. And of course, you can speak to the comic book culture where you are, because my friend Rodney is watching the show from Queensland, Australia. Um, I don't know. I can only imagine that comic book stores in Queensland are not as prevalent as they are in the United States. But I don't know. It's very interesting. Oh, Rodney says brick and mortar stores can rarely make enough sales. Most of the ones here are lifestyle businesses. They don't make much. Yeah, and I always thought that the key to running a good comic book store is diversification. You have to have comics and toys and games and action figures and t-shirts, and you got to do some extracurricular stuff to make sure that the neighborhood knows you're there. They know that you're friendly. They know you give good deals, and they come and patronize you because they get a good experience from coming to your store. And the comic book has that. There are some stores in the U.S. that really have that down pat. Some of them do not. The ones that do not usually don't last anyway. But it wasn't for a lack of trying on Mike Wellman's part on his store, Atomic Basement. Um, I wish him well. He may try to do some publishing ventures down the road, self-publishing, and I really do wish him well. So, we digressed a little bit, didn't we? Back to the book in the middle. Bronze Age Marvel Comics Claim, The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, number 157. Please excuse me for rambling on. I don't mean to ramble, but I do enjoy talking about all things comics, all angles of the comic book industry, good and bad. And we were getting into Spider-Man No Way Home, and because one of the prominent villains is Dr. Octopus, had to throw a Doc Ock book in here. So, there you have it. Volume 1, number 157. The story is by Len Wein. Art is by Ross Andru with Mike Esposito. And Dave Hunt did backgrounds on it. The cover is by John Romita Sr. There is an appearance by, of course, Dr. Octopus. from June 1976. So this is a Bronze Age book. The grade range is 9.2 near mint minus to 9.4 near mint condition. Buy it now on this book. $50. $50. Buy it now. Claim it and it's yours for $50. We're about to swap out Batman. Next, we're going to swap out Batman for another DC Bronze Age book. It's going to be a DC Comics auction item. Please remember, anything that does not sell is still available. All you have to do is ask me to bring it back to the screen, and I'll be more than happy. Oh, that also reminds me, I am going to be launching a store on the website hipcomic.com. Hipcomic.com. I'm going to be launching a store. I'll be putting several books up and growing the store. You might want to check it out. Look for Lightningrod Collectibles on hipcomic.com. I am launching my web store on hipcomic.com this week. Hopefully it'll do very well. Wish me luck. In the meantime, this is a Bronze Age DC Comics auction item. Auction item. The New Teen Titans, Volume 1, number 28B. 28B. This is a direct sales variant. Direct edition. The story is by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. The art is by George Perez and Romeo Tangal. The cover is by George Perez. This features the third appearance of Tara and Tara's first cover appearance. That's the girl in the center. Tara turned out to be, well, first she became a very popular new addition to the New Teen Titans. And a very powerful member at that. But then it was revealed after a time that she was a spy for Deathstroke. And she turned out to be a very evil, misguided young woman who quickly became one of the Titans' greatest enemies before her death. Great character arc. This is a great title during this time. Great characterization. One of the Bronze Age books from DC that I strongly urge following. Also, there is an appearance by the Brotherhood of Evil in this issue. This came out in February of 1983. The grade range is 9.2 near mint to 9.4. I'm sorry, 9.2 near mint minus to 9.4 near mint. The opening bid on the New Teen Titans, number 28B, is $15. $15 opening bid. And it kind of reminds me because I mentioned when Crisis on Infinite Earths #1 was up at the beginning of the show that George Perez is unfortunately, heartbreakingly, terminally ill. And he's got less than a year left to live, and he's suffering from cancer, and is not going to over, he's not going to undergo any radiation or chemotherapy for what he's suffering from. I bring this up because I just mentioned that the artist on this Spider-Man issue in the center is Ross Andru. And I've always loved Ross Andru's work. He was a Spider-Man artist for a long time, took over after John Romita Sr. left the book. Well, Ross Andru, of course, did not only a lot of work for Marvel, but a lot of work for DC Comics as well. And one of the books that he worked on was DC's Vigilante. Um, he worked on the Doom Patrol for a while and several other books. Always liked his style. He's no longer with us. But Ross Andru, I think his people hail from Russia. So he was a tiny little man and used to come in. When I worked at DC Comics back in the late 80s, I worked in the production bullpen, which means I did art and lettering corrections on their entire line of books, which was about between 60 and 85 different titles a month. Regular books and miniseries, all that stuff. And when you'd come into the bullpen office, you'd walk down this short corridor where there was the the copy machine, and my desk would be right by the copy machine. And Ross Andru used to come in all the time. He'd say hello, but he is one of the first people, and he's not the first person who has said this to me, but he's one of the first persons to tell me, or not just to tell me, but to confuse me with George Perez. He used to come in, look at me, and think I was George Perez because George and I looked that much alike. So he'd always come up to my desk. He says, "Hey, George, how you doing?" And at first, I tried to correct him and tell him, I'm very flattered that you think that I look like George Perez, but I'm not George Perez. My name's Michael. And for some reason, for whatever reason, he'd always forget because every time he came in after that, he'd call me George. So at one point, I just stopped correcting him. I didn't. I didn't go off and tell anybody else, "Hey, my name is George Perez." I didn't go out to impersonate the man. But with Ross, I didn't correct it. I just said, "Yeah, hey Ross, how are you?" Which is kind of funny. But yeah, it just made me think of that, And when I think of George, when I thought of Ross, I always thought of those moments. And now when I think of George, I will think of those moments. The last time I saw George, and I didn't have a chance to talk with him because I was busy running my own table where I was selling books and collectibles and stuff. This was at the Hawaii Con when I used to live in Hawaii. The, Within the last year that I lived in Hawaii, we did um, the Hawaii Comic Con at the Hawaii Convention Center, and it was my most successful show that I've ever done. And George was there, had a table. He was doing sketches. This is about let's see, 6 years ago almost. And I wish I had gotten George's autograph back then, and I didn't. I didn't have an opportunity to, and I would have loved to have told him that Ross Andru story, but I may never get the chance now. Anywho, just to give you a heads up on what we've got going on the screen right now, to the left is a this is a Diamond Age Marvel Comics hardcover, factory sealed, still got the cellophane on it. X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills, extended cut, original graphic novel in hardcover by Chris Claremont and Brent Anderson. From December 2020, the grade range is 9.9 mint condition to 10.0 gem mint condition. And I say that because the factory seal is unbroken. Make Lightningrod an offer on the X-Men hardcover. Make Lightningrod an offer. The book in the middle is a claim item, a buy it now, from the Bronze Age of Marvel, The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, number 157. Spidey versus Doc Ock. By Len Wein, Ross Andrew, and Mike Esposito, with an inking assist by Dave Hunt. Covered by John Romita Sr. From June 1976. Grade range 9.2, near mint minus to 9.4, near mint condition. That's a buy it now. That's a claim. $50. Claim it, and it's yours for $50. The book on the right is The New Teen Titans, Volume 1, number 28B. Written by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. Art by George Perez and Romeo Tangal. Cover is by George Perez. Third appearance of Terra, and her first cover appearance. From February 1983, grade range is 9.2, near mint minus to 9.4, mint condition. This is an auction item. Opening bid on the New Teen Titans 28B is $15. All right, now we're going to swap out. We're going to swap out the X-Men. Please remember, anything that has not sold is still available. We're going to put up the Silver Age book for Marvel. It's going to be a claim item. Silver Age for Marvel. Anything that has not sold is still available. All right, how about this one? Silver Age Marvel Comics claim item. It is Captain Marvel, Volume 1, number 7. Captain Marvel, Volume 1, number 7. The story is by Arnold Drake. The art is by Don Heck and John Tartaglione. The cover is by John Romita Sr. Great issue. It is the 5th appearance of the evil walking computer known as Quasimodo. And it features the 8th appearance of Carol Danvers in Marvel continuity. Carol Danvers, as you know, is now the current Captain Marvel. This is her 8th appearance in Marvel continuity. This book came out in November of 1968. The grade range is 7.0, fine, very fine, to 7.5, very fine minus condition. This is a claim item. This is a buy it now, and the buy it now in this book is $24. Captain Marvel Volume 1, Number 7. Buy it now. $24. In a few minutes, I'm going to bring out a collectible toy item. And just to clean our palette, I'm going to clear off all 3 books on the board, and then I'll put up this collectible item. And then after a while, I'll give it a chance to sell for a few minutes, and if it doesn't sell, I'll move on, and we'll put up 3 more new books. I have to say, we've done pretty well so far on this, our 6th anniversary show. Actually, it was 6 years yesterday. 6 years on Facebook Live. And we've done well on this show. We sold, just to give you a recap, we sold The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, Number 94, featuring Spider-Man versus the Beetle, for $100. And it is from March 1971. It is a high grade, 8.0, very fine to 8.5, very fine plus. That's sold to Carl Van Landingham. And Robert Kennedy has purchased 2 books from us so far. He has purchased a copy of The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6, Number 55, with an iconic black cover with a white outline Spidey profile drawn as if in webs. It's quickly become an iconic cover. And that sold for $25. And he also purchased a CBCS slab of Batman number 50, which is a B variant exclusive. It's a virgin variant, so there's no lettering or titles or cover logos, no publishing information on the cover whatsoever. It's part of a joining picture of the Batman family. On the cover is Batwoman, Black Canary, the Huntress, and Tim Drake as Robin. And the book is signed on the cover by J. Scott Campbell, who did the artwork on the cover. And we sold that slab to Robert Kennedy for $140. So very well done indeed. All right, my friends, we are going to move on from these 3 books. Please remember, if anything has not sold, it's still available. So all you have to do is ask, hey, Mike, can you bring such and such a book back to the screen? Well, of course I can. I'm happy to do that. Maybe if you wanted to take some time thinking about whether you wanted to make a purchase or place a bid. Let's see if you can see this. I need to check my StreamYard screen for it. It's kind of small there. Hey man, let's do this. This is a cool little item. Let's put the stats on this in the feed. This is a claim item from the Think Pen Company. FIGPEN, Fig Pen, Diamond Age item. It is a pin. You pin it to your jacket, and it's very cool. It's a pin that's made in association with Marvel. It is the Falcon from the Marvel television series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It is a Falcon enamel pin. And that's a great show. One of the best Marvel TV shows that has come about. I'd say I would put it, as far as Marvel TV shows go, I would put it as number one on my list. And number two would be Hawkeye, which just finished all of its episodes. Let's go in closer on this, shall we? I like this thing. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Look at this, the back. It's got a unique backing system. This is from Marvel Studios. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is the Falcon. Sam Wilson as the Falcon. It is a die-cast zinc alloy with enamel inlay and electroplated nickel coating pin, sized at approximately 3 inches tall, 76.2 millimeters. And it is 3/32 of an inch thick, which is 2.0 millimeters. It's encased in a museum-quality, clear polycarbonate display case if you want to just display it and not wear it. It came out in December of 2021. The grade range is 9.9 mint condition to 10.0 gem mint. This is a buy it now item. Claim it, and it's yours for $20. Claim it at $20, and it is yours. Let me see if this will work. Let me see if that'll work. Let me angle it. Whoops! So sorry about that. Actually, that looks good. Right there. Isn't that awesome? I love that pin. I've seen on Figpin's website, there is also a pin, a companion pin, on the Winter Soldier, on Bucky Barnes. So yeah, I would like to get that one too. This one is cool. And there's many Star Wars figures. So I guess they've got full command of the Disney license at Figpin. Great little item. Claim it for $20, and it is yours. Great quality on it. Great detail. You can see the side pin. It doesn't have those little metal round clasps that go on the back of it. This is a soft plastic that this clings to, and it stays on. So yeah, that's kind of cool. There's a close-up. Nice little pin. Just so you guys know, I have a free gift for anybody that makes a purchase for the first time on Lightningrod Collectibles Live. If you buy something today, and this is actually ongoing, well, not just this episode, but any episode, you come on for the first time and you buy something or you win something, no matter what it is or how much it is, you will get a free gift from Lightningrod Collectibles. And it's a cool collectible that I have in mind, too. Robert wants the Wonder Girl. All right. Okay, let me pull it. We had this on a little while ago for anybody that hasn't seen it. Let me go back to my notes. Actually, that wasn't a claim, that was an auction. The opening bid was $21. You want it at $21? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to proclaim $21 on Wonder Girl on this variant, number 1D, at $21 going once. If there is anybody out there that wants to challenge his bid with a higher bid, now is the time to do so. Otherwise, by the time I say sold, if nobody else has jumped in, Robert Kennedy is going to get this. Wonder Girl, number 1D, $21, going twice from Robert Kennedy. And we're going to close it out in a minute, unless somebody else has something else they want to say about it. All right, this is it. I'm going to move this temporarily. And I'm going to say, we said going once at $21, going twice at $21, and sold to Robert Kennedy. That's something you didn't know I had that. Robert Kennedy is the winner at $21 for Wonder Girl number 1D. You know, and if you see like little scuff marks, they're not on the cover, they're on the bag. And I will change that bag before I ship it out. Well done. And I am going to Give Robert his props. Third win of the day for Robert Kennedy. Okay, I'm almost ready for your props. All right, the balloons are flying for Robert Kennedy a third time. He is now just won Wonder Girl Volume 3, number 1D, for $21. Well done indeed. Thank you, Robert, and congratulations to you. All right, we're going to move on from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Anything that has not sold is still available. Out will come 3 new books. All right, let me adjust. There we go. Got some good stuff. All right. Hello, what have we here? Doug Pettigrew has just joined us. Hey, Doug, Happy New Year to you, buddy. How's everything? Hope your New Year's is good so far, including a New Year's celebration. I hope you had one, and I hope it was good. All right. Let's start from the left, shall we? The book on the left is a Lightningrod and Offer item from the Copper Age of Marvel. Okay, Lightningrod and Offer. Yes, so far so good, Doug, and I'm trying. So thank you. Welcome to our 6th anniversary episode. Lightningrod and Offer on this Copper Age Marvel on the left. The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 259B. It is a direct edition copy. The story is by Tom DeFalco. The art and cover are by Ron Frenz, with inks by Joseph Rubinstein. I used to go to art school with Joseph Rubinstein at the School of Visual Arts it was high school. It was the High School of Art and Design in New York City. The story is by, I did say that, I'll say it again, Tom DeFalco story, art, and cover by Ron Frenz and Joseph Rubinstein. This is a key issue because it is the origin of Mary Jane Watson. This book features appearances by the Hobgoblin, the Rose, Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards himself, and the alien black Spider-Man costume / symbiote, who is later identified as Venom. This issue came out in December of 1984. The grade range is 7.5, very fine minus, to 8.0, very fine condition. Make Lightningrod an offer on that issue, please. Make Lightningrod an offer. Let's talk about the book in the middle. A Silver Age claim item from Marvel Comics, which means it's a buy it now. It is Tales of Suspense, Volume 1, number 91. Tales of Suspense, Volume 1, number 91. Great issue which features 2 marvelous stories every issue, one of Iron Man and one of Captain America, before they began appearing in their own books. Both stories are written by Stan Lee. The art on the Iron Man story is by Gene Colan and Frank Giacoia. And Gil Kane and Joe Sinnott were the artists on the Captain America story. The cover spotlights the Iron Man story and is by Gene Colan and Frank Giacoia. In the Iron Man story is featuring the first appearance of the villain you see on the cover, the Crusher. First appearance of the Crusher. In the Captain America story, there is an appearance between the Red Skull and the Avengers. This issue is from July of 1967. The grade range on this is 7.0, fine, very fine, to 7.5, very fine minus condition. Claim it, and it is yours for $35. Buy it now. Tales of Suspense, Volume 1, number 91, $35. And there is the book on the right. It's another Make Lightningrod an Offer. It is from the Diamond Age of Marvel. This book is Fantastic Four, Volume 6, issue number 33C. Volume 6, number 33C of Fantastic Four. The story is by Dan Slott. The art is by R.D. Silva, with inks by Luca Maresca. The variant cover is by Rob Liefeld. This cover is a Deadpool 30th anniversary variant cover. Deadpool is not in the inside of this book, only on the cover. This commemorates 30 years of Deadpool. Inside the book are appearances by the Submariner, Doctor Doom, and the Black Panther. This issue is gearing up for the wedding of Victor Von Doom. August of 2021 is when this book came out. The grade range is 9.8, near mint to 9.9, mint condition. Make Lightningrod an Offer. So we got a claim in the center, the Silver Age, Tales of Suspense, number 91, Volume 1. Claim it for $35. For either of the books on either side of Tales of Suspense, for The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 259B, or for Fantastic Four, Volume 6, number 33C, make Lightningrod an offer for either books. If you make an offer on either book, if you make an offer on either of these books, and Lightningrod feels the offer is too low, Lightningrod will give you a counter offer to consider. And then, hopefully, we will begin haggling for the book in question. If you want the book, you have the option of giving your own counter offer, which is higher than your initial offer, yet lower than my counter offer. That means the next offer I put on the table for that book will be lower than my initial counter offer. But it'll still be higher than your offer. And we will continue to do this until we can both be satisfied with our respective offers and actually make a sale. So that's how it works. Make Lightningrod an offer. Coming up next, I'm going to swap out two books for the 2-issue History of the DC Universe. And we've got other books coming up, such as Wolverine, I believe it's Volume 7, number 9, which has a Wolverine versus Aliens cover. And it's an awesome cover. That's a variant. We have Dark Knight's Death Metal number 1 coming up. We've got about a little over an hour left in the show. Death Metal number 1, and it's got a foil cover. That's awesome. Spider-Woman number 6 from Volume 1. Spider-Woman versus Werewolf by Night. Great issue. We have a 4-issue set of the conclusion of the Walking Dead comic series. And that is issues number 191 192, and 193. And I did say this was a 4-issue set. So issue 192 included in this set is the standard issue cover of 192 and the variant cover of 192. And issues 191 and 193 are second printing issues. We've got a Silver Age issue of Superman, number 168, which actually got quite an interesting history to it. Can't wait to tell you about that. More celebrating the work of George Perez, the Uncanny X-Men Annual, number 3, the X-Men versus Archon. What a beautiful issue that is. We have Superman and the Authority, issue number 1, and a variant cover at that by Brian Hitch. Cool series. Rom Space Knight from Bronze Age Marvel, number 1. Wait till you see that one. Nice copy, too. From the Golden Age, Don Winslow of the Navy from Fawcett Publications, number 8 is coming your way. If you don't have a Golden Age book and always wanted one, your chance is coming. Tomb of Dracula, a favorite Marvel horror book. Number 37 is coming up. Marvel Spotlight, number 1, featuring Captain Marvel. And it's an interesting variant. Can't wait to tell you about that. A Silver Age Daredevil. Issue number 31. Daredevil versus the Cobra and Mr. Hyde. Great issue. And we have a variant cover, silver foil variant cover of Berserker number 1, which is the latest Keanu Reeves comic. Soon to be made into a film, I hear. So that's coming up in just a few minutes. Time permitting, we'll try to get to as much of it as we can. Whatever is not shown on today's show will be moved into the next show. And just keep watching my space on Facebook Live for details on what date and time the next show will be. All right, my friends, we're going to swap out. We're going to swap out the Amazing Spider-Man and Tales of Suspense. Hold on 1 second. Just had to check my battery power real quick. All right. We're going to swap out The Amazing Spider-Man and Tales of Suspense. Please keep in mind anything that has not sold is still available. All you have to do is ask me about it, and I'll be happy to bring it back to the screen. I'm replacing them now with these two issues. And these two issues count as a set. This is a claim set. It's a buy it now set. From the Copper Age of DC Comics, it is History of the DC Universe, number 1 and 2. History of the DC Universe, numbers 1 and 2. It's a complete set. Let me just pull this back just a little bit. History of the DC Universe. Story by Marv Wolfman. Art and cover by George Perez and Carl Kiesel. These issues are in prestige square-bound format. This tells the entire history of the DC Universe in chronological order from the very beginning of time itself, all the way up to the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and everything and everyone in between. You've got histories on and how they relate to each other, because that's what history is, isn't it? You've got Swamp Thing and Darkseid and the Freedom Fighters and Gorilla Grodd and Superman and Etrigan the Demon and the Blackhawks and Jonah Hex and Green Lantern and Hawkman and the World War II era, covering people like Sergeant Rock and Enemy Ace, Batman, Wonder Woman. Everybody is in this series. And it's told in like a storybook format, which is kind of cool. So you're not going to see any word balloons or sound effects in this at all. Really, really nice 2 issues to have. These issues came out in April and September of 1986. The grade ranges are 7.0, fine, very fine, to 8.0, very fine condition. Claim it, and the set, the 2 issues, are yours for $13. Claim it at $13, and it is yours. Buy it now, $13. History of the DC Universe. Coming up next, Wolverine issue number 9 from volume 7, variant cover, Wolverine versus aliens on the cover. Yes, the aliens that chased after Sigourney Weaver, that kind of alien. That's coming up. All right, my friends, we're about to move on. We're going to swap out the Fantastic Four. Please remember, anything that has not sold is still available. Here's our next book. All right, my friends, here's the next book on the far right. It is a Diamond Age Marvel Comics auction. This is an auction item. This is Wolverine, Volume 7, Number 9B. Wolverine, Volume 7, Number 9B. The story is by Benjamin Percy. The art is by Adam Kubert. The variant cover is by R.B. Silva. It is a versus Alien variant cover for this particular month, March of 2021. Marvel Comics sported a versus Alien cover to commemorate the fact that they had at that time purchased the rights to do Alien and Predator, both great movie franchises, in comic form, and to integrate with Marvel characters. So who better to go up against an alien xenomorph than Wolverine himself? And there you have the cover. Like the acid for blood is going to stop Wolverine. Grade range is 9.8 near mint to 9.9 mint condition. It is an auction item. The opening bid is $10. $10 is the opening bid. We're going to move on from history of the DC Universe. We're going to swap that out with two other books. Please remember, anything that has not sold is still available. Got about 45 minutes left in the show. All right. More awesome books. Next up, the book in the far left. It's make Lightningrod an offer on this book on the far left. A make Lightningrod an offer book. It is a Diamond Age DC comic item. Dark Knight's Death Metal, number 1. Dark Knight's Death Metal, number 1. The story is by Scott Snyder. The art and the cover are by Greg Capullo, with inks by Jonathan Glapion. And it's got a cool foil cover, shiny foil cover, silver foil cover. This issue features the first appearance of the Dark Knight and the appearance and apparent death of the Batman Who Laughs in this issue. This came out in August of 2020. The grade range is 9.0, very fine near mint, to 9.2, near mint minus. Make Lightningrod an offer on Dark Knight's Death Metal #1. And then there is the book in the center, a Bronze Age Marvel Comics auction item. Bronze Age Marvel auction item. It is Spider-Woman, Volume 1, number 6. Spider-Woman, Volume 1, number 6. The story is by Marv Wolfman. The art by Carmine Infantino and Rick Bryant. The cover is by Carmine Infantino with inks by Steve Leialoha. It is a bondage cover. Anytime you show a cover that has a woman in bondage, that makes it a noteworthy book, because there are some collectors out there that dig that sort of thing. I mean, look at Wonder Woman. The early Wonder Womans of the 40s had several covers that were bondage covers. And not only that, William Moulton Marston, who created Wonder Woman, I mean, he's also notable because he was the man who invented the polygraph machine. But he also was notable because he lived his life by way of a bondage and dominance fetish towards women. And he liked S&M as well. And that's part of the reason why he created the lasso, the golden lasso of truth that Wonder Woman carries. He was into S&M and B&D. So it's interesting, you know, the histories of the creators of some of these iconic characters. So this is a bondage cover. And as you can tell by the cover, there is a major appearance by Werewolf by Nights. From September 1978, the grade range is 7.0, fine, very fine, to 7.5, very fine, minus condition. The opening bid on this auction for Spider-Woman Volume 1, number 6, is $7. $7 is the opening bid. We're going to leave these three books up for a few minutes. If we don't have any movement on it, we're going to swap them out. And coming up next will be the Walking Dead set. The Walking Dead conclusion set. Stay with us. You are watching Lightningrod Collectibles Live, episode number 453, the 6th anniversary extravaganza. Can you believe it? 6 years ago, on January 1st, we started our Facebook Live auction shows. In a couple of minutes, we're going to swap these books out, and I'll bring out The Walking Dead. Reyes! Just curious, did Ultraman sell? If not, what was the asking price? It did not sell. I still have it. And let me tell you, that was a buy it now. That was a claim. Buy it now, $10. The Trials of Ultraman #1. Do you want it, Reyes? It is $10. Reyes, what would you like to do? It is $10. Was just asking. Curiosity got to me. Do you want it? It's yours if you want it. If you want it, it's yours. Buy it now, $10. Not at the moment? Okay, not a problem. Cool beans. All right, we've got about a half hour left of the show. Time to put up The Walking Dead. Please remember, anything that has not sold is still available. This is a 4-issue set of the conclusion of The Walking Dead. All right, let's see if I can fit them all here. I gotta pull back on the camera. Here I gotta stack them a little bit. Come on. All right. Here's what we got next. This is a Make Lightningrod an Offer item set. This is a Diamond Age Image Comics set. This is The Walking Dead. This is the Walking Dead conclusion set. It features, from left to right, The Walking Dead number 191, second printing. Issue number 192, this is the A cover, first printing. This is issue 192C. This is the variant cover, the second variant cover. And issue 193, final issue, second printing. The story is by Robert Kirkman. The art and the covers are by Charlie Adler. This is the Walking Dead finale set. The key issue, the biggest key issue of the set, is issue 192, which is the death of Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes being the hero of The Walking Dead, and his story we've been primarily following in The Walking Dead since issue number 1. He finally dies. Just to let you in on it, spoiler alert, Rick Grimes is killed at the end of 191. Rick Grimes' son, Carl, finds Rick on issue 192. Rick has already turned into a walker, and Carl puts Rick out of his misery, all in issue 192. 192C is a specific Rick Grimes Memorial variant cover. That's the red and gray cover right here. Issue 93 is double-sized and an unannounced final issue, second printing. Now, here are the ranges for these books published between May and July of 2019. The grade range for 191 is 9.8 near mint to 9.9 mint condition. Issue 192A, basically, is 9.8 near mint to 9.9 mint condition. Issue number 192C is 9.6 near mint plus to 9.8 near mint condition. And issue 193, final issue, issue 193 is 9.8 near mint to 9.9 mint condition. Make Lightningrod an offer on the entire set. Now, I think we're going to have room for maybe anywhere between 3 and 6 more books at the end of the show. Not everything's going to get in. I predict that there are going to be 3 books that don't make it in. The last 3 books that were scheduled for today, which is Marvel Spotlight 1, which is a variant, Daredevil number 31, which is Silver Age, and Berserker number 1, which is a silver foil variant. But that's all right. Those issues, if they don't make it on today's show, will make it to our next show. Keep watching for day and time. I know Lightningrod Collectibles has been on the air fairly infrequently in the last few weeks, and that's basically because of my work schedule. And I'm sorry about that. Nobody hates that more than I do. But Lightningrod Collectibles will not be defeated. We are forging on ahead. We've come this far, 6 years. So why stop now? Because I won't do it. I refuse. And we're going to close this out and move on to 3 more books in just a moment. Who's still with me? Give me a shout out. It's been all right, Michael. When you do come, you have some great comics to offer all of us. That's always much appreciated, Robert. That's really very appreciated. Appreciated. Thank you. And you're a great customer. So thank you for that as well. So your payments will go on a little bit longer, but that's okay. As I said before, you're getting a great package once it's ready to fly. It'll be like Christmas all over again for you. All right, we're going to move on. Please be advised, keep a watch out for me. Lightningrod Collectibles is opening a store on the website hipcomic.com. So watch for Lightningrod Collectibles this week. Looking forward to it. All right, and also keep in mind anything that has not sold is still available. All right, let's see what we're going to do now. Let me switch to StreamYard so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. All right, more good stuff. More great stuff. All right, here's the next book, starting on the left. On the left is a Make Lightningrod an Offer issue from the Silver Age of DC Comics. It is Superman, Volume 1, number 168. Superman, Volume 1, number 168. This may be the last three that we get to do, because it's already 3:13. See if we can speed this up just a little bit. Superman, Volume 1, number 168. The stories are by Edmund Hamilton and Leo Dorfman. The art is by Kurt Swan and George Klein. Kurt Swan pencils with George Klein inks. And Al Plastino, another well-known Superman artist of the Golden and Silver Age. The cover is by Kurt Swan and George Klein. This is a key issue. The letters page is replaced by a tribute section on the death of President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. My mother was still pregnant with me when this happened. How eerie is that? That blows my mind. This letters page inside the book includes some preliminary art on an upcoming Superman story featuring the president, featuring John F. Kennedy. It was supposed to be Superman and Kennedy's first meeting. And that story was originally scheduled for this issue. But as they were about to go to press, the story broke that Kennedy was murdered. So they pulled the story and replaced that story with the story that's actually in this issue. And they would have sat on that story for God knows how long. They may have never published it under those circumstances. But 2 issues later, the story that was meant for this issue, which was Superman's first meeting with President Kennedy, actually got printed. Issue number 170. And the reason why it got printed was because President Lyndon Baines Johnson requested DC Comics print the story. That's awesome. You know, you can't get more historical than that. That's just awesome. Also, there's an appearance in this issue by Lex Luthor. This came out in April 1964, which is the month and year of my birth. The grade range is 3.5, very good minus, to 4.5, very good plus condition. Silver Age goodness. It is a book that Lightningrod asked that you make an offer on. Make Lightningrod an offer. Robert is saying, just saying, I used to never own any slabs. My first 2 I got through you. Yeah, my first, I think you spelled through wrong, but that's all right. Through is a hard word. I think you meant THROUGH. That's the through that you meant to do. I know that. I never owned any slabs. My first 2 I got through you. They are my pride and joy. And now you've got 2 more coming in this next package. So that's going to be awesome. Book in the middle. Let's talk about that briefly. Once again, celebrating the life of artist extraordinaire George Perez. This is a claim item in the center from the Bronze Age of Marvel. It is the Uncanny X-Men Annual, number 3. The Uncanny X-Men Annual, number 3. Story by Chris Claremont. The art is by George Perez with inks by Terry Austin. The cover is by Frank Miller and Terry Austin. This is a direct edition copy. It is the 7th appearance of the Avengers villain Archon, the Thunderer, who wields the Thunderbolt spears. Great issue. Gorgeous issue. One of the most attractive issues that George Perez has ever drawn. And by far, the most gorgeous issue he has ever drawn for Marvel. This is it. From August 1979, the grade range is 8.5, very fine plus, to 9.0, very fine near mint. It is a claim item. It is a buy it now, claim it, and it is yours for $35. $35, and Uncanny X-Men Annual 3 is yours. And the book on the far right. Book on the far right is a Diamond Age DC Comics auction. It is Superman and the Authority, issue number 1B. First issue, number 1B, so it's the first issue and the first variant copy. The story is by Grant Morrison. The art is by Mikel Janin. The variant cover is by Brian Hitch. There are appearances in this issue by, we were just talking about him, President John F. Kennedy and Manchester Black. This issue is from September 2021. Can you imagine it? Superman leading the Authority? Very interesting. September 2021. The grade range is 9.8, near mint, to 9.9, mint condition. The opening bid on Superman and the Authority, number 1B, is $8. Superman number 1B opening bid, $8. Okay, we're going to squeeze in a couple more real quick. I'm going to swap out Superman 168. Anything that has not sold is still available. We'll swap it out for Rom Space Knight from Marvel. Bronze Age, number 1. This is one of the highlight books of Marvel's Toy Age, where they started to make great comic books out of great toys and integrated those toy characters into the Marvel Universe. During this time, Marvel came out with books like Shogun Warriors, The Micronauts, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Godzilla. All great books. And one of my favorites out of this era is Rom Space Knight. The story is by Bill Mantlo. The cover is by Frank Miller. Covers by Frank Miller with inks by Joseph Rubinstein. The art inside is by Sal Buscema. Really one of Sal Buscema's best books. This is the newsstand edition. This issue is key. It is the first appearance and origin of Rom and the first appearance and origin of Rom's enemies, the Dire Wraiths. From December 1979, the grade range is 7.5, very fine minus, to 8.0, very fine. Claim it, and this book is yours for $34. Claim it, and this book is yours for $35. And I think we got time for one more. It's now 3:23. Time for one more. We're going to swap out Uncanny X-Men Annual. And in its place, we're going to put in a Golden Age book. Probably one of the most, if not the most important comic book that Fawcett Publications published during World War II. And that is Don Winslow of the Navy, number 8. Don Winslow of the Navy, number 8. The stories are there are simple stories in it. The stories are written by Frank Victor Martinek, who used to be a lieutenant commander in the Navy. And when he retired, he started writing. He started writing novels, created the character of Don Winslow, who was a lieutenant commander himself in the Judge Advocate General's office, went after spies and saboteurs during World War II. Quickly, the U.S. Navy saw an opportunity to use the character of Don Winslow as an indoctrination tool to get young men to enlist in the armed forces in general and the Navy in particular. Art and cover is by Leon Burrows. Don Winslow is such a popular character, he jumped from prose novels to newspaper comic strips to comic books like this one to motion picture serials. Don Winslow of the Navy and Don Winslow of the Coast Guard. Very popular character. And when on the first issue's cover, Captain Marvel, the Shazam Captain Marvel, who Fawcett owned, is on the cover standing next to Don Winslow, introducing him to the readership. That's a big deal. There was even a quality control board that overlooked every issue that came off the press during World War II. And two people, among the number of people that sat on the advisory board, two of the people were famous. One was Admiral Richard E. Byrd, who helped discover Antarctica. And the other person was the First Lady, Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt. Great history behind this book, behind this title. This issue came out in October of 1943. The grade ranges 2.0, good, to 2.5, good plus condition. The opening bid is $16. And it looks like we're going to end the show here. So Tomb of Dracula didn't make it, and the other three books I told you about didn't make it, but they will jump in on the next issue. And I think what I'll do with the books that did not sell on today's show, that you've already seen, those will be the first books that I put in for my debut store on hipcomic.com. So watch out for that. You're going to see a lot of good stuff come out of that, and hopefully I will increase my audience for this show. So we're going to leave it at that. If you want to purchase or bid on any of the three books that are currently up, please let me know by texting me, and we'll complete a transaction that way. But other than that, I'm about to sign off. It's about 3:27 now. I've got to go to bed in a half an hour so that I can be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for the midnight shift at work. But I am happy to bring to you the first show of 2022, and as it so happens to be, our 6th anniversary, and I couldn't be happier. I'm glad the show got off to a strong start. I am very pleased. And let me just say this, because I've got the banners to support it. Lightningrod cannot do shows like this without you. So thank you all so much. Your patronage is always and most greatly appreciated. Please make sure that you like and share this show on Facebook. Please tell all your friends, spread the word. Anybody who you know likes comics like you do and like I do, if they will enjoy this show, please turn them on to it. Give them the link. Give them my page. Let them come to me and friend me on Facebook. I'm happy to do it. And if you're on Instagram like I am, I'm under the name Lightningrod Collectibles on Instagram. Check us out there as well. And if you happen to be on our YouTube channel, which is our Lightningrod Collectibles channel on YouTube, please subscribe. You have been watching episode number 453 of Lightningrod Collectibles Live, Purveyors of Fine Pop Culture Ephemera, simulcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, bringing you the best and the coolest from the diamond, modern, copper, bronze, silver, and even the golden age of comics. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time. I remain your host, Michael D. LEPINE. Happy New Year, everybody. Please be advised I will send out invoices shortly. For those of you that have payment plans with me, I will send you an updated invoice. It may not be due today, but that's okay. You'll still have it. And I will process your payments at whatever regularly scheduled time we have agreed to. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy your New Year's weekend.